What's up, party people? We are missing the one and only, the man, myth, the legend, Jason Simard today, but Brett and I will try to bring some value. We'll try to hold this thing down. Brett Baker in his brand new podcast studio.
I do love this.
I am in the B team location at my office today, which is my actual office. There's literally two people working out of the radio studio right now, but I'll try to be as cool as Brett next time and get into it's a lifelong mission to try to catch up in the cool category of Dr.
I thought I was trying to keep up with you, man. I always thought that's where we were going with this.
In some ways, but probably not the bright and pink and bold category. But we'll each pursue our dreams on our own time. Hey, Brett and I are going to just kind of throw one topic out today. We're going to bounce it around. Jason might pop in. Honestly, we're not 100% sure.
He's Canadian, man. You never know what he's doing.
He runs on a Canadian clock. And
he really
we don't
does.
Know what that means. No one does. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our databases. We're going to talk a little bit about, we'll talk a little about technology, but I think we probably want to lean towards people and relationships and kind of how we manage them and pursue them and cultivate and develop. And we'll see where it goes. So if you're enjoying this, as always, I just want to give you a quick ask up front. We would love for you to subscribe to this and tell your friends and like it and share it and comment. By the way, we love the comments. If you have a question you'd like us to hammer out in a future episode, just drop it in a comment. If you want to start a fight between us, we always like those.
We really do.
Throw one out that you're pretty certain we'll disagree on, and that will always make for a really great show. And just remember, the reason we do these things is twofold. We are picking each other's brains to improve our own businesses, and we all have a really good time sharing with you guys, and we learn from you as well when you give us feedback and ask follow-up questions and all those things. So that's what we're doing today. Let's talk databases. What comes to mind immediately, Brett, when we talk about database?
Well, I mean, everybody says, you hear in the industry, past clients, sphere of influence. Everybody automatically assumes that's database. But database is really anybody that you've contacted. Here's the way I look at it. Anybody I've contacted, made contact with that has expressed interest in doing business with me.
Yep.
And that's past client, sphere of influence. That's anybody that we've talked to that has an interest. But I know yours is a little different.
Yeah, and I would say that's an even narrower definition than mine. So my database to me is everyone I have contact information for, period, partial or whole. Okay. Now, raving fan club are advocates, past clients, and not necessarily past clients, but people that have indicated that they're an advocate. They've referred, they've repeated, they've recommended, they've said good things, they've supported us. And then in between is where we use tags and designations and categories to say, hey, somebody is kind of a Mets marketing. We've met them,
sure,
we've engaged with them. And then if you've been around any of my training I've done or consulting or coaching or whatever, I talk about you have to have a communication plan for 3 different categories of people. All of this sort of falls in the database or data bank or sphere of influence, circle of influence, pick a air quote, hashtag label for it. But I think you've got kind of I know I have some information. I don't really know much about them. They might know me. They might not yet really like me or trust me. And then you've got a second category where they know you. They probably like you, and they might trust you like, hey, that's a trustworthy person, but they haven't yet proven it through business or referral or advocacy. And then that third group is they know you, like you, trust you, and they've shown that to you, proven it.
Sure.
So those are kind of how I chunk it out. But to back away, I think it is really important that you do chunk it out. And Brett went straight towards him saying he chunks it out as like, people that have indicated they are or will want to do business with him. And I think that's like the most important piece of your database, or one of them. But I would gather anybody you can. If you bump into somebody in the line at the bank or whatever, and they start shooting the bull and for some reason you get their info, they should go in your whatever CRM database follow-up you have. Now, you might not do anything with it yet. You should do something.
Okay.
But you might not put them in 8 campaigns and send them 20 pieces of mail, but that's a valuable piece of information that you should do something with later. So I think we've kind of blanketed generally what we could be talking about. What's some of this? What are you doing with your data?
So I think so the reason why we hyper target like that and we don't just go with the broad spectrum. I mean, we get so many leads a day. We don't necessarily have the resources to be able to follow as intensely with every single person that comes in. So when we identify someone that wants to work with us, those people get most of our attention. Yeah, the other people get dripped on as far as a client care team does their thing. But once they indicate they want to do business with us, that's when they get handed to an agent that actually is there to get them into their house or sell their house. So what do? We have a client care team that drips on them pretty much continuously. They do get the property updates. I am probably the one guy in the world that hates drip emails. I don't know why. You hate them too?
Only one. We have some, but I hate them for the sake of just having them.
Right.
Let's send people emails just because we're supposed to send people emails, and people love emails, and emails make people buy things.
Right. I think what I've found with those emails is you get on the unsubscribed list so fast when you send people crap they don't want. What people want when they come onto a website and they're looking to buy, they want property information. They want relevant search information, which is why we use Real Geeks. And that's really what we do with it. So we do that. We do client events for them. We're doing a Cabo giveaway next. And we basically try to find ways to get them involved. We actually took your Raving Fan Club idea and we ran with that. That is brilliant. Yeah. So touch on your Raving Fan Club, because of anybody that does anything with database, I've learned more about database management and care from you than anybody else.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah. And just obviously the idea of a Raving Fan Club is not unique to me. We do some unique things with ours, but you can go find books on literally about the Raving Fan Club. But
right.
What Brett's getting at is one of the key pieces. He's talking about database from the perspective of sales and front end conversion lead generation.
Yeah.
We're very similar in that regard. My definition, at least that we're talking about, is everyone we have contact information for.
Right.
So that's sales prospects, that's current clients, past clients, and then advocates that aren't even past clients. So it's all the above. It's also vendor partners and family and friends too. So Raving Fan Club on our team is really defined as really happy past clients and strong advocates. Now, there are some people in there that we're not like 100% certain are huge, super strong advocates, but we know that there's at least an indication. They've said like, oh yeah, we'll tell people about you. They might not have done that yet, but they've indicated a real sign of trusting us and wanting to be an advocate for us. Now, we host annual events. Tonight, actually, we've got an ice cream event at this really cool kind of old-timey 50, 60 style ice cream parlor in our area. We'll invite 300 or 400 people, and we'll just say, hey, we're going to come buy you an ice cream cone for back to school. And then we throw in my wife and daughter's birthday. Just so we give people any excuse to come get some free ice cream and hang out. If you don't like free ice cream, you're like a communist, a dirtbag, or an insane person, right? Even if you don't actually eat ice cream, you want to take someone else to give them free ice cream.
Absolutely.
So we encourage our Raving fans to be there, but also to bring a friend. Because for $4 for a scoop of ice cream, you can bring all the friends you want, just so I get a chance to high five them, hang out, take a quick picture, throw it up on all over social media websites and everything. Sure. We'll create a video and all those things. So we do two really big annual events. One, we do a minor league ballpark baseball game, and we do the first 100 get a guaranteed seat. We create some scarcity and urgency there.
Sure.
And then we'll bounce beyond that. We'll give away some free parking. We do some trivia questions, social media picture competition during there. We'll give away usually a cruise. Brett's getting into the travel giveaway. We'll give away some prizes and cool stuff. Then we do a pie day every year. Most of you guys have kind of seen the pie day model.
Sure.
People come to the office, pick up a pie. We have one main goal there. That's to tell them our annual goal, and that's that every one of our advocates would introduce at least one person with us that would do business. By the way, that number one is really freaking powerful. Just think of every one of your past clients sent you one person every year.
So that would be an additional almost 300 sides.
Right. And for most people, would that be enough?
Yeah. I
What
would cut my spending down significantly.
Well, and think about it. So that's where the next thing we start talking about is
Sure.
what are you investing? How are you communicating? How much
Sure.
time, how much energy, how much money? And that's the group that I'm willing to spend the most time, energy, and money
Absolutely.
on, because they've already proven to me that they will do business and they will encourage others to do business. So
Yeah.
we do baseball game, Pi Day. This year we're adding a fall festival. I've got a couple acres at my house. We'll do it in the backyard. We'll have pony rides, family photos that people can use for their Christmas cards. We'll have a little hay maze area. We'll have the world's greatest cakewalk. We've taken the cheesy festival thing and turned it into like unbelievably great pies and cakes and cupcakes that will be in the cakewalk. We've got food trucks, snow cone food truck deal, and like 10 other really cool things going on there. We'll do drone video photography there.
Sure.
We'll do vendor one-offs. We'll get testimonials. It'll be a blast. Of course, all provided, all free to our clients. Then we do like the ice cream thing like today. We're looking at doing some Top Golf and random food truck, taco night type, just fun stuff in the future. But those are some of the things we do. We do random gifts a couple of times a year. We'll drop some branded sunglasses or coffee mugs or towels or something for no reason, no holiday, just drop it at their door. Our inner circle is the top 10% of those raving fan club people. Those people were sending them to really cool, fun date nights out at the steakhouse and crazy fun stuff like that. So that's just a snapshot of what we're doing there. And Brett's obviously modeling some of that. I know you did a really fun one recently, I think with a concert and some limos. Tell them about that.
So we've done a couple different concert ones, but basically, so Garth Brooks came back after like 15 years.
Yeah, Chris Gaines or Garth Brooks?
Garth Brooks came back after 15 years. And he came to Spokane, which is basically just up the street from us. And so I went on the day the tickets came available, and I ended up buying, dude, it was a stupid amount. It was like 30 something tickets. Yeah. And I basically gave them away to our past clients. And we did the same thing you did with the inner circle. Gave them inner circle people, hey, thanks for all the referrals, man. We're sending you and your significant other up to go see Garth Brooks. We covered we covered their transportation. We covered food while they were there and made sure they got into the concert. And concert sold out in 45 seconds. Right. So they got tickets to probably the hottest event you can get into. Yep. The other thing, go ahead.
No, you.
The other thing that we do that we've really gotten into is, so we do the whole Spotlight on Tri-Cities thing, the community videos. So the goal is obviously become the digital mayor of our area. And so what we've done with that is now we've gone back to those companies that had food trucks, catering, et cetera. And we do a neighbors only open house. But instead of the neighbors only, we actually do past client open houses. Yep. So we will invite all our past clients to say, hey, come check out our new listing. By the way, where it's being catered by so-and-so, come have a free meal and, get some drinks on us. Yep. And so they come out, they get to see a new listing. We tell them to bring a friend as well. Like, hey, if you know anybody interested in buying, hey, come check this out. And we've ended up double siding 73% of our listings.
So you're going to love this. And you and I have talked a lot about double siding listings and collecting whole commissions that might be larger than some other people's commissions.
Yep.
So, we have a box truck, and we're talking about converting it into our own food truck and doing every client. So we do the neighbors only open houses.
Yep.
But we also do housewarming parties.
Sure.
So if it's an ideal client in an area that we want a lot more clients, we'll throw them a housewarming party. We'll cater it. We will control inviting up to 50 of their closest friends and families. They provide us all the contact information, and then we do all the communication. We invite it. We make the brand new homeowners feel really special. And we're talking about converting our box truck into our own food truck potentially, and then doing our own, completely custom deal there. And then that would be really cool for all sorts of local events. So for the spotlight. And then we're not doing anywhere near what you're doing on the Spotlight on Tri-Cities, but we always joke around that food is the love language of our team. Absolutely. So we do these food reviews, and we have these like inter office battles on the best steakhouse, the best place to go get. We had a hilarious one on when you just decide to bail out on your diet and cheat and drive through. Like, if you're going to cheat, what's the best place to cheat hard? So we're doing some of that type stuff as well. But again, the topic here is database. What are we doing And I think the real meaning of the topic is relationship.
Right.
I just wrote the cover article for our print newsletter that will go out this week. And the whole thing is about one word. And I honestly wrote the thing about, basically I said the meaning of life. Like, what are we created for? Now I'm a Christ follower. So I talk about my relationship with Jesus, my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my children, neighbors. But that's what I believe we're designed for. That's what we want, is relationship. Now you think you want a Ferrari, and by all means driving a Ferrari is a blast, but most people want a Ferrari so they can have incredible experiences with other people.
Correct.
You know? And so it almost always ends up, the underlying reason is relationships. And so I think if you're building your business on relationships, you're going to win. You're not going to, an app or a really clever website is not going to trump you having 400 relationships at a depth of level where they're like, dude, nobody got Garth Brooks tickets. And Baker sent me and my girlfriend in a limo down there. And that was one of like 10 cool things he's done for me. And I know if I ever need anything, that dude shows up. Well, you know, someone that says you can save 2 hours and 1% on our app, that guy's like, shut up. I don't even want to know the name of your app. Right.
See, I think it comes down to, I think all of this, even what we were just talking about neighbors only open houses, community videos, that all ties into the same thing. It comes down to trust. It comes down to trust factor. Building relationships is based on trust. And so one of the things that we're doing to basically, when you talk about the reason why we categorize our database as people that want to work with us, when you look at if you were to take our database as a whole, I mean, we have so many followers on social media that we can't lump that into one. We have to be really targeted. Otherwise, we could say our database is anybody that watches more than 30 seconds of one of our Spotlight on Tri-Cities videos, because they've indicated they like what we're putting out. They've indicated that. So it all comes down to trust. And like you're saying, you know, the people that are heavy referrers for us, our inner circle, probably the best one I've done yet. Yeah, we gave away Garth Brooks tickets. That's pretty big. But we had another one where they referred 4 people in a row, like just rapid fire. It was like, wow, okay. On the 4th one, I called up Edible Arrangements. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, just give them a small gift. That's not who I am.
Take the whole truck to the...
Take the whole truck. So I called Edible Arrangements and I said, hey, what is the absolute biggest bouquet of fruit you can send a person? And the guy was like, oh, it's like $300. I said, great, I'm going to take 2 of them. I'm going to send one to the wife. I'm going to send one to the husband, and I'm going to send them at their work.
Always send it to the office.
Right. Well, I didn't realize the wife was actually, like, I knew she was in banking. I didn't realize she worked at the corporate office of one of the largest community banks we have in our area. Nice. And she took this giant bouquet of fruit showed up with balloons. It was a spectacle. Everybody's like, who, is that your husband that sent you that? She goes, no, that was my real estate agent. Who's your real estate agent?
That's the question you're aiming for. And by the way, a minimal edible arrangement is like $75.
Yeah.
So you're asking yourself, the difference is 200, 225. But the difference is like, oh, that's neat. And holy crud. Are you kidding me?
Instantly from that, we actually got 3 listings out of that one thing just from her work. We got another listing from his work, because they're like, our agent has never done that for us. Yeah. Like, what did you do?
Brett, would you say that was a bold move?
Yeah, I would say so.
And I think before we get like way too bogged down in what's the most awesome, craziest thing, I'm going to challenge you a little bit.
Sure.
And I'm just going to challenge you on the fact that I believe you can get your arms around all of those people. Now, you're not going to
agree with that.
You're not going to give this kind of time and attention and money to all those people. And I think some people are going to disagree with what I'm about to say. Brett brought up a great point. When I said database, I said, these are the people I have the contact information for.
Quick 10-second break to tell you about our sponsor, Real Geeks. Todd, Brett, and Jason all use Real Geeks as their website, home search, and prospecting database. Check it out at realgeeks.com. Now, back to the show.
But it can go beyond that.
Sure can.
We're talking about people that view his videos that he doesn't technically have the contact information for, but I bet you $100 bill he's got a pixel on them, and he can retarget them, so he has the ability to communicate with them.
Yeah.
So that is definitely that third audience of like, they kind of know me. I might not even know them, but I'm going to set a goal to stay in front of them. That's it. That's how that's my communication plan for that third category, or the fringe, right?
Yeah.
So here's just like a shotgun approach to the stuff that we send to people, the ways that we communicate people, right? I write a customized email message. It's not really a newsletter. It's just a note, a message, every Tuesday, except for there's a week where we send something else on. We do a trivia competition. And so it's 3 weeks a month, usually 3, sometimes 4. We send a print newsletter. We send a high-end custom magazine to the top group. We do all the client events. We have the Facebook group. We do occasional random gifts. We do the top 10 gifts. We do phone invites, text invites, and social media invites. We do probably about quarterly vendor recommendations, vendor deals, hey, get your AC checked out before everybody else does. Our guy will do it for you for free kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then we try to do over the top referral thank you gifts. And then we go looking and hunting for opportunities to give gifts. Did you have a baby? Did you get a promotion? Did you win an award, get a certification or something? We're just scouring social media and, conversation for reasons to celebrate with people. We do Christmas cards. Sometimes we'll do a Thanksgiving card. We do random handwritten notes, and on and on and on. But we are looking for ways to deepen relationship. If somebody's in that third category, we want to move them to the second category.
Sure.
If they're in the second category, we want to move them to the first. If they're in the first, we want to move them to inner circle. So I'll throw it back to you.
I think we do. We're similar, but we're different. Ours is basically digital based. We do a lot more follow up with digital. We are not as relationship driven as you are. Now, should we be? We absolutely should be. That said, we have more business than we can personally handle right now. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of in that weird spot where we took a different approach to it. Mm-hmm. A lot of our area, see, you're in a massive DFW area is massive. We don't have we don't have that big of a market. So it's a little bit different here. But I think both work. You mentioned the retargeting. That I do it now. Yeah. People ask me all the time, what ads do I run on Facebook? Retargeting. And it's all retargeting with video. It's fun when you go into Costco and someone's like, hey man, aren't you that guy that does that? It's like, yeah, yes, I am. So yep. I think you're right. I mean, I think really database love is a big deal. It doesn't matter how you define your database. Database love is real. And the more you love on your database, the more you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, man. We do a radio show, like a real radio show on the biggest talk station in our market. And that's database, right? Like you're communicating with the whole community. Now, they know who I am. I'm hoping to get an opportunity to know them, but it's not database if you're only counting names, phone numbers, and emails inside a CRM.
Fair enough.
So I think it's cool to expand your thinking. I think it's cool to take a heavy digital route like Brett. I think it's also cool to go super old school and shake hands with people as often as you can. I think so much of what we talk about on the show here is you've got to be building the business that you want to build, right?
Exactly.
You might think you want to build my business. You probably don't want to build my exact business. You might be thinking, I just want to be Brett. I want to build Brett's business. I want Jason's business. Trust me, you don't, because you're not us. Now, you might really love the way I develop relationships. You might love the way Brett is the digital mayor. You might love how Jason's client care model works. Great. Take all three of those and build your version. Trust me, all three of us have some really unique proprietary ideas. But way more of what we're doing was borrowed and tweaked and improved and shortened and expanded. And we've all been coached. For the most part, we're all coaching each other. I mean,
correct.
I called Brett yesterday to get some tips on a couple things. Brett's on coaching calls with my group and stuff. Jason and I have traded stuff. He's flown into town a day early for events to spend time in my office. I mean, that's what this looks like. If you ever think that, like, you've got to just pick somebody and blindly follow them, don't. But it is good to focus. It is good to say like, hey, I've got a primary 1 or 2 people I'm following. But don't get yourself trapped into thinking that you've got to mimic someone. And then don't get yourself trapped in thinking it's like unoriginal or theft to learn from somebody. Right. That's what we're doing here. Anyway, any other thoughts? Any new angles or final thoughts?
New angles. No, I would tell everybody that I think everyone should be doing video. You guys should be doing more video. I know you do video, and you do the video stuff you've been pumping out is great. Do more of it. The more people get to know the real you. Everybody is themselves on video. And it's so everybody tries to do, I'm getting ready for video. Don't get ready for video, do video. Because if you spend time getting ready, you're not going to do. I hop in front, I literally grab my phone and just go. Sometimes that's what it takes. Just get in front of video, do more video, and love on your database. I did a webinar thing on BombBomb not too long ago.
Yeah.
On BombBomb or just on video text, text your past clients. Text someone who's going, hey, just want to check in with you to see how you're doing. How's your new house?
Yep.
I mean, just show them you care and they'll return the favor.
Yeah. And I would say, I'll let you own the video piece of that, but the part I'll touch on before we wrap up is personality. Show them your personality. Like, obviously, I love Jesus. I'm a Christ follower. I don't hide that. Everyone tells you don't talk politics and religion. You can deal with politics however you want, but obviously my faith defines who I am as a business owner, my marriage, my parenting. We do business with tons of people that don't share my faith, but I think they really appreciate and respect that I am who I am, and I'm not BSing them. I'm not going to put a little ichthus Christian fish on my car so that I can get your business. That's really who I am. I'm also a little bit of a smack talker, right?
Yes, you are.
people that like that and think that's funny love doing business with us. People that think that's like rude and disrespectful and is inconsistent with my faith, like they're going to be repelled by our marketing. They're not going to get into deep relationship with us. And guess what? That is great.
Yep.
It's really good to narrow the people that you want to work with. Now, I think it's good to start with a big funnel and narrow them down. But we spent very little time talking about technology because I think Brett and I would both tell you, great, find something and use it. Cool. Wonderful. Deal.
Yep.
We like Real Geeks. We use Real Geeks for a lot of stuff. You can use it for everything we just talked about.
Absolutely.
Or you can use it for lead gen and use, I don't care. You can use, an Excel spreadsheet just to keep people's information. Just use something.
I do want to touch on one thing, and it's actually going back to the very, very beginning of this. You mentioned tags. Sorry that I'm going to take this technology for like 2 seconds.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
Tell me how you use tags. So my client care team uses tags. I don't.
Yeah.
And everybody asks me, what tags do you use? So tell me about your tags.
Yeah, I'll tell you that my team uses tags and I barely ever do too. But I usually, create it and then it gets run. Now, definitely we've got some team members that are more gifted and talented than me and run with it. But so, for example, we have a raving fan club tag.
Yeah.
And there are some past clients that we have not invited to be part of our raving fan club. We have a past buyer client tag, a past seller client. We have an active buyer, active seller. We have a client event invite tag. There are some past clients who are raving fans, but they're not local.
Got it.
So there's a lot of nuance to cross-referencing and saying these are all the people that should be a part of this event or that should get that.
Okay.
For a quick example, we have this kind of high-end, glossy, attractive magazine. I write a cover letter, and then honestly, it's kind of private labeled. And that goes to like 60 people, right?
Okay.
That's like the top of it's more than our inner circle, but less than our whole raving fan club.
Sure.
There's a tag in there for who are those people. And every month we add 1 or 2 people. Every once in a while we might pull someone out. Then we have tags for their level of engagement. There's kind of a score there. These people open like more than half of our emails, right? Cool.
Got it.
That's someone we sort of want to know. We want to know who's doing that. And then there's a bunch of other things, but that gives you an idea of
absolutely
when a tag matters and how we would use it. And it becomes, once you get a lot of past clients and you start inviting a lot of people to an event, it gets messy where you can look like an idiot.
Yeah.
You invite so this happened to us, honestly, it drove me insane. I have one of my closest friends in the world who referred us to his brother and sister-in-law. Well, my very closest friend got invited to our baseball game event. His brother and sister-in-law somehow didn't.
Got it.
Well, they're talking about it, and now they're like, oh no, why didn't we get invited? Is there something we have to do? Did we mess up? And now you've got a client that was really, really happy who's wondering if you don't like them. So I find out about it, we hunt it down, and we realize, well, the guy changed his email and we just didn't get it in time, and nobody was upset. Of course, I did what you would have done, and we over the top
Absolutely
hooked them up, and we're like, dude, we're so sorry. That's not your fault, it's my fault, But if you're not careful and you're not cross-referencing and updating and tagging, then that stuff happens.
Absolutely.
And people bump into each other and they're like, oh, we saw you sold your house with Brett. Oh, aren't they so awesome? You're like, yeah, they're pretty cool. Man, I love it when they did this. And you're like, well, we didn't get that.
Yeah.
So that's where this stuff gets important. So it doesn't matter what technology you use. I do think you should be using some.
Absolutely.
Even if you're not, I'm very tech capable.
Yeah.
But I'm not super tech interested, right?
Yeah.
So you need to be, or someone on your team needs to be, or a virtual person or whatever, but you do need to keep order so that you can maximize the value and deepen those relationships. So cool. We'll wrap it up unless you have a final thought.
I'm good.
Awesome. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Subscribe, comment, like, share, all those good things. We'll see you soon on another one.